They wanted to invest in me. They promoted me quickly. This isn't something that I need to put down or ever stop. This is just life now.
This guy right here, I'm gonna tell you, I've known him for what, going on 10 years?
Yeah.
And I watched him grow up. You know, we played basketball, and I'd say for the last, how old were you when I met you? You were middle school?
I was
high school,
just entering high school. I was 13.
Yeah. Long story short, every time he saw me, I'd be, you know, driving into the park. It's a gated basketball court, and he would see me, and the first thing I would hear is Ross, right? Ross, right? And this goes on for years. And this is, mind you, he's like young and small then. Now he's a full-blown, like, 20-year-old man. About 2 years ago, July 21st, I remember this date because that day we finished playing basketball and it started raining. And I don't know how we started talking about it, but we started talking about, like, I don't know if you asked me a question or if you noticed something, but we started talking about semen retention. And, you know, he's straight, he's a straight male, he likes girls, all that shit. So we talked about releasing and, you know, your energy. What'd you notice? I mean, what made you believe me when I was talking to you? Bro, motherfuckers don't, it's fucking weird. At the end of the day, it's weird to not nut. Most people, that's weird. What made you believe me? You know what I mean? What made you believe that?
I'm a big believer in kind of, at that point, that was a time where I would come to you with a debate about everything. We'll debate about girls, we'll debate about sports, we'll debate about our own basketball game, we'll debate about money, we'll debate about everything.
Yeah.
And everything we debated about, I learned something new. And so every time we debated about something whether I felt like I was right or not, you showed me a new way to look at things. And I was like, whoa, I actually never looked at it like that. And then just seeing the way y'all carry yourselves and through life, through anything, that was another thing where I kind of, you know, we debated on or talked about, and it kind of just gave me a new perspective on, I need to start looking at this a certain way and start treating it different and start treating, you know, carrying myself differently. And then you just see the changes. You start to see little changes.
Yeah. July 21st, 2023. Wow. That's the day we had that conversation. And I'm gonna put a little image on the screen. That day we were talking in the rain. So we were talking and then it started raining and we kept talking. And for some reason my phone started taking pictures in my pocket. That's why I know that's the day,
the exact day.
July 21st. What have you noticed after a year and a half? What have you noticed in terms of changes, physical changes, spiritual changes? What have you noticed changed in your life?
The big thing was the job aspect of it and the whole getting older, getting around, you know, people that are older than you, people that make more money than you. And just in those 2 years, I work in the hospitality industry, server, bartender, manager, and just in those 2 years, I went from a support, a busser, the one that cleans the tables, you know, picks up the food, to all the way up into one of the most knowledgeable bartenders in Avalon. I now work at the hotel at Avalon, which is a very expensive, you know, wealthy place.
So people respect you. So you've noticed that, like, higher ups, management, you know, grown individuals, because you're a 20-year-old kid, right? That's how people are gonna perceive you. Had you been jerking off and your energy wasn't the way it was, they probably wouldn't have taken you serious, right?
And so we can talk about energy. Just from the way I walked in the different restaurants and places that I worked at, and specifically the hotel, it was a different kind of sparkle in people's eyes when they looked at me. They looked at me not as a kid, not as anyone younger than them. They looked at me as someone to invest in. And so that's when I came into the hotel. These people have been doing it for 5, 7, 10 years. They've owned restaurants. They've, you know, they work at the Benz Stadium. They worked at every piece and corner in the hospitality industry, and they all kind of culminate here in their off time. And so just bits and pieces, learning from them. And it was never like am I wasting my time with this individual? And, you know, they always, you know, gave me the advice that I needed, gave me the numbers that they were earning, gave me, you know, where I need to be, what I need to be asking for. And then we can take it up a level to management. The management, the exact same thing. They wanted to invest in me. They promoted me quickly.
You're moving up quickly.
I got employee of the month my second month in the hotel, which is crazy.
Why? Like, what are you doing different?
And I'll tell you, I came in my first month and I was just the hardest worker. I wanted to do every single thing right, whether it was with every single department. We have so many different departments in the hotel, and I wanted every single department to know my name and know who I was. And it wasn't until after I got employee of the month that the director of the hotel came down and saw me, and she was like, Rio, every time I see you, you have this smile on your face, and you're always doing something, you're always helping somebody, and you're always trying to learn something. And somehow, and I know you have businesses and school outside of this job, but every time I see you, you have a smile on your face. And she was like, that really means a lot to me. And she was like, you're gonna go far in this company, wherever, how far you wanna go. You know, we have 401k, retirement plans. And she was like, you can go as far as you want in this company. You keep, presenting yourself and acting how you are. And once it was like little confirmations throughout those 2 years that just let me know this isn't something that I need to put down or ever stop. This is just life now.
So now it's a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Do you think about it?
I don't. It's like a little bit. So I went vegan 10 years ago, and even though it's kind of the same way for me, it's like the first week, the first day, you kind of think about it. But after a while, it becomes speaking English. It becomes life now.
At what point during your streak, right? So you're going up over a year and a half now. At what point did you realize that people are moving different, like they're treating you different?
Before I worked at the hotel, I worked at a place called True Food Kitchen. It's a really health food spot. And there I again went from server to bartender before I was 19. I wasn't able to drink, and I was one of their best bartenders. And my last 4 months there, I got promoted to like a key manager. I wasn't a full staff manager. I was a key manager, meaning I got to do the checkouts. I got to do, run expo, and I was ahead of all of the other servers and bartenders. And when you put somebody 19 in that position that's in charge of 20, 30, and 40-year-olds, you would think that they would not take that respect or look down upon that. But in that position and in that environment, all of them respected what I had to say, what I had going on, and they kind of looked at what I was doing as, we need to follow this guy through the shift, throughout the week, throughout the month, and that kind of follows.
Bro, this is the same you talk. You see, guys, it's fluent, and I can tell when someone's actually retaining not only just how you're talking, but the frequency of your voice, like the bass in your voice. I mean, bro, it's fucking. Have you noticed you talk better?
Yeah.
Especially, it's one thing talking better with management, but just with anyone that you're talking to, it flows.
And so with something with that, I remember you talk about when we met. I remember when we first kind of met before I started on retention.
Yeah.
When we used to have debates and little fights, I used to always interrupt you immediately. You would start to have a point and I would interrupt you.
Yeah.
And you guys took a point to tell me, before you move fast, you want to speak, before you jump to a conclusion or jump to the next idea, fully resonate and marinate in the idea that we're saying before you just combat it. And so I really started doing that with you all, with management, with clients, throughout, with my business and school.
Yeah.
And you're able to learn so much quicker once you actually hear it. It couldn't even be, you could hear the tone that they're speaking in.
I have a clear bias in the fact that after 5-6 years of doing semen retention, there are certain things in the beginning that I would notice and really kind of key on, right? I would focus on. But as I've, gone down time has gone by, I'm kind of out of touch with things that new retainers probably go through. And that's actually not a good thing. So I wanted to ask you a question. The first 30 days, 90 days, right? 6 months, then a year. What type of, what'd you notice in each block? You know what I mean?
Those first 30 days are the most important for me, and this is no brag, but to me, it was just an instant change. Like, as soon as me and Ross had that conversation, I started with day one, and then after the first 30 days, I never thought about it again. I feel like if you're disciplined through all the other things in your life, diet, work, family, if everything else is working in order, that this is just another gear for you to add on and really elevate and level up your energy and the way you manifest your life. After those first 30 days, the first 4 to 5 months, I personally noticed changes in my job, just the way I asked questions and talked to clients, guests, and management. It was just a click, a snap of the way they respected it, the way they took on to it, and made them more willing to help and work, and with the clients and guests actually buy. That was the time I started bartending. It was extremely easy talking to guests. I was 19, talking to 21 and up, 21, 25, 30, 40-year-olds with years and life experience on me, but we were talking almost peers, as equals and peers, with job and with everything that we're doing. And so, and then once you get to that year mark and where I'm at now, it just becomes a lifestyle change. And you notice the same way those 4 to 5 months I was noticing energy, now I'm noticing even bigger energy to now I've promoted myself all the way into the highest level. I have, clients, and corporate comes down, and the director of the hotel tells me I'm the server that needs to be taking care of them this lunch or this week. And so you'll get little checks throughout, the weeks and the months, but keen on to those checks and then just keep on with that journey.
Hell yeah. Now, I gotta bring this up, right? Women attraction, okay? It's something that's big in the community. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be one of those guys who tell you guys to ignore women. Women are a big part of the human experience, right? It's man and woman. You can't ignore them. I think you can go, too far on either extreme. In life, when you make money, women come. When your body's in right, when your body's in shape, women come. When you do anything right, women come. So they're kind of like a sign that you're doing something right. So on your journey thus far, what have you noticed regarding the female?
I noticed,
you got a girlfriend, yeah?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend. But what I noticed before, I got my girlfriend a little bit before I started retention. But before that, it was, as you said, all lustful, kind of the goggles on.
I remember.
Physical attraction was, you're a young man exiting high school, college. Physical attraction was almost everything to me, my group of friends, everybody around me. Once I started on retention, it was a complete switch. It was femininity was attractive to me. Submissiveness was attractive to me. Grace, grace was attractive to me.
Yeah, not being a horse, like all that shit.
100%. And it was so the what? Intelligent. That's a big part, because my girl is in college and she has a job, a wonderful relationship with her friends and family, and that to me is extremely attractive in the steps that she's doing, and she sees the steps that I'm doing, and I'm now able to match her feminine energy with my masculine energy, and I'm able to tell her, I just got promoted and made this much amount of money this month, or I'm about to move my mom and my grandfather into their own house so they can be, set, and they'll be paying a mortgage that I'll own the house one day. And so
purpose, like masculine, not aggression, but like you're taking action, like you're moving, like masculine, like forward action. Yeah, and you now you have like a higher purpose beyond just making money for yourself. It's like you want to shift your entire bloodline.
Yeah.
You want to make sure everyone around you is good. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. I think there's a lot more that we can talk about. There's more to talk about. This is gonna be a part 1. I'm gonna have Rio back here in a different video. We'll talk about some more, because we've been talking away from the camera, and there's just so much more that he wants to say. There's a lot on his mind, right? And it's kind of hard to fit it in a small video. So we're gonna make this a multi-part series. If you guys have any questions you want me to ask Rio, comment them down below. Guys, get on the Discord. The Discord is growing into something really, really nice. And I love the fact that a bunch of high vibrational individuals are gravitating to it. It's just interesting how you guys are all on the same type of time. Like your eyes are open. None of this is by coincidence. You're gonna get with a bunch of like-minded people. It's better than nothing, because it's kind of hard to find, high frequency individuals in real life. So the internet's the next best thing. Hop on my Discord, and we'll take it from there. We'll talk soon.
Going that 7 days without feeling any urge because of the mind program is just crazy. And I'd just like to appreciate you. Thank you a lot.